I got a condo in Manhattan. Baby girl,
Yeah, so good afternoon, Mr. Fink. My name is Miriam, and it's really nice to meet you.
It's a pleasure.
Thank you for coming and for sharing the time with us. And we wanted to ask you some questions.
With pleasure.
Let's start. Firstly, can you please tell us about yourself and your motherland?
Yes, I am 47 years old. I am the father of two wonderful children, Sam and Gaia. And I spent most of my life creating companies, starting new businesses. Some I failed, some I succeeded. And when my children turned about 5 years old, I decided I wanted to spend more time with my family. So I sold all of my companies and we bought a house in the mountains. My neighbor is a horse. We get along very well. And I get to play with my children. I still work a little bit, and I only work for the pleasure. And I like education. I like to make it possible for people to become better people through education. And I know a lot of people who feel the same way as I do. So we got together and we created a school for adults. And we decided that we would take this school out all over the world. So our school is not just in Geneva, but our school is also in Africa, in Southeast Asia, in Europe, in America, and in Kazakhstan. We cannot spend the money to create our own school in Kazakhstan. It would cost too much money. So instead, we work with a university like this one, KazGU, so that they give us some space for our school, our programs here inside their school. This way, we don't have to spend all of the money and we can still be in Kazakhstan. So this is what I do now. I do education, and I am interested in bringing education from Western Europe to the rest of the world. Not because our education is better, but because we can learn from one another. I learn a lot when I'm in Kazakhstan. I learn from the people I meet here. And I think your world, the world of tomorrow, is a world where you need to understand the people of Africa, you need to understand the people of Europe, we need to understand the people of Kazakhstan, and it will be a better world. And I want to help with that, with education.
Thank you. And so, what is your opinion about Kazakhstan, and are you enjoying the visit to here?
Very much. For me, it's a wonderful country to visit. I really like this new city of Astana, which did not exist 20 years ago.
Yeah.
For you, 20 years seems like a long time. For me, 20 years is nothing. So it's fascinating to see a country that just booms like a mushroom. And I learn a lot from your culture because your history as a people is so different from the history of my people. Your people were nomads. Your people traveled on horses in the steppes. Your people have traditions that are so different from the tradition of my people, who were farmers and sailors. So for me, it's fascinating to discover and learn about your culture. And one thing that for me is very important is some people, some cultures are more warm than others, are more friendly than others. Typically in Africa, people are very friendly, they're very warm, they smile. I see this in Kazakhstan. The persons I meet here are incredibly friendly. And they are smiling, and they are warm, and they are gentle. And I feel like a king when I'm here because everybody is so nice to me. And being a foreigner in Kazakhstan, I thought it would be difficult, but in fact it's very easy.
And my name is Alilia.
Alelia?
Alilia.
Alelia.
Yeah. And
What does it mean?
I'm not sure what it means. And I wanted to ask you, when you were still a child,
Yes.
like who did you admire?
Many children admire sports players, not me. I like sports, but not that much. The people I admired were the people who made big sacrifices for what they believed. Have you heard of Gandhi?
No.
No, you have? You will learn about him. He is a man who changed an entire country, one of the biggest countries in the world, India, without violence, without war, with the power of his mind. I admired this man very, very much as a child. I also like warriors, because I'm a boy, I was a boy, so I like wars, I like all of these things. But I was fascinated in general by people who were able to make the world different, to reshape it, to make it better, by making a big sacrifice. These are the people I admired.
And what is your attitude to literature?
To
Literature.
literature.
Yeah.
In France, literature is very, very important. I don't know if it's the same in Kazakhstan, but in France, children read a lot of books. Even now, they have iPads like you do, but we still read a lot of books. And in France, if you visit a big or a small city, you will see bookshops.
Yes,
Everywhere.
many bookshops.
Yes.
I was really shocked.
Yes.
In the
Yes.
street bookshops, and that's so cool.
Exactly. It's something I don't know how to explain, but people love literature, all kinds of literature. And I'm very happy that my children read also. In my house, there are books everywhere. Against the walls, on the ground, everywhere there are books. And when my daughter was small, she was 3 years old, she picked up a very big book. It's a book of the legal system in France. She did not read it, but everywhere she went, she had a big book in her bag. And I could see that she loved books, even though she couldn't read yet. And she had picked a big one, and it was her book. So, to answer your question, I love literature. For me, it is the most important form of arts. I respect painting, and I respect music, and I respect dancing and acting. But I admire literature above all other forms of art because it is the one that touches me the most. I cannot go to sleep unless I read. If I don't read, I can't sleep. So every night I must read a little bit. And when my children were small and couldn't read, they were in bed and I was reading them stories every night. Maybe it's my culture, maybe I don't know how to explain all of this, but books are one of the most important things in my life.
My name is Khadija, and I
Khadija?
have Khadija.
Hadija, sorry. And
Yes.
what does that mean?
I don't know what does that mean, but it's Arabic name. I
Yes.
know it, and it's a name of wife of someone. I don't know.
The wife of someone.
Yes.
Must have been someone important.
Yes, I'm important
Okay.
person.
Okay. Well, I hope your husband, when you are older, can say that he's the husband of a very important woman.
Why did you choose the field of economics? Has it been your dream from your childhood?
No, it was not my dream. It was a way to have the freedom to do my dreams. one of the most difficult things in life is that it is very difficult to earn the money that you need for your family, for yourself, and do the things you like at the same time. Most people cannot do both at the same time. So you work, you make some money, and you have the freedom to realize the things you really want to do. That happened to me. I went into the fields of business because it was fun. I had a lot of fun doing it, but it was work. And for me, work was a way to one day be able to realize my dreams. My dreams were very simple dreams. It was to have a happy family, children that can do the things that are important for them, having security for my family. And then once all of this was okay, my dream was to build what I am building here, a system where people learn from one another. What I call education is that. It's a system where people from all over the world discuss the same things together and learn from one another, and maybe in the end it makes us all better.
Can you continue this phrase, please? To become successful, you need to...
I need to finish the phrase.
Yes.
You need to be happy. You cannot be successful if you are not happy.
We would like to hear your point of view about the prospects of using cryptocurrency. Do you think that is going to be a long-standing, sustainable currency?
I do not know, but I know that it is interesting to have a currency that is not controlled by the governments, because it's a bit complicated to explain, but in almost all cases, in every country, the government controls the currency. That gives them a lot of power. Sometimes it gives them the power to pay for wars, long wars. You know, wars cost a lot of money. Nobody wants to go to war. But if you have to go to war and pay for it, then people disagree. So many governments have decided that when they wanted to make a long war, like World War I or World War II, or the wars of Vietnam and Korea, governments started to make money. And they started making money, so the wars lasted for a very long time and many people died. I don't like that. So I like the idea of having a currency that the governments cannot control. Because if they can't control the currency, they can't make more money. And if they can't make more monies, they can't make more wars. I like that.
We will be glad to hear the view of an expert about prospective files of education for being studied.
I am not an expert. I am a practitioner. And I believe that education will be one of the most visible changes in the years to come. I believe that very soon you will not go to class anymore.
That would be great.
It would be great, huh?
Yes, but it sounds unbelievable.
But I think it's believable. I believe that you will not face boring teachers anymore. You know, some teachers are boring, some teachers are very exciting.
And angry.
Yes.
They are boring and angry.
Yes. I believe this is almost finished because the new technologies that are now available that everybody can use make it possible for you to learn when you decide it's a good time for you. And maybe you learn better in the morning, but maybe you learn better in the evening. Everyone is different. Maybe you learn better in English, maybe you learn better in Russian, maybe you learn better in Kazakh. The new technologies will make it possible for you to learn in an environment where only the best teachers work for you. Maybe they appear on a screen, maybe they appear as a hologram, maybe they are physically with you in a classroom. It depends. But I believe we are now discovering that with these technologies, we are able to ask children to give us less time and learn a lot more in less time, because the new technologies will make it possible. So I believe the way you're learning today is finished. And I think it's a good thing, because I haven't seen a country where children are really happy to go to school. So there must be a better way. And it starts with the professor, and it starts with the time that you spend in school. Plus, we are discovering now in some countries that some have methods that work incredibly well. For example, in Finland, they know how to teach mathematics better than any other country. The kids are much better at math than anywhere else. So we should use the professors from Finland for the whole world. We realized that in Germany, they know how to teach languages better than anybody else. So we should use German professors to teach you English. And we realized that there are countries where they have developed something that is unique and interesting for the rest of the world. And thanks to the new technologies, we can bring that to everyone.
Thanks.
Okay,
Thank you
My
very much.
pleasure. Thank you, girls. Can I keep this?
Yes, you can.
Thank you very much.
I got a condo in Manhattan. Baby girl, what's happening? You and your